I'm moving to Detroit. I'm moving 1,700 miles away from everybody and everything that I know. Hey, y'all.
On private jets, taking trips, come back at 6, wake me and your child, and then won't lay today, make me wonder who you might have been playing with, makes me wonder who you think.
I'm going to tell you guys today what it was like moving across the country and what it's like living in Detroit. The reaction that I get from a lot of people when I tell them that I moved to Detroit, they're like, girl, what the hell, why? I'm about to add a moon to my son's painting because ours has them and his doesn't. Okay, so boom. Mind you, I'm painting this with nail polish because I don't have white paint right now. Anyways, 2019. Yeah, let's start in 2019. So I'm 18. I graduated in 2019. I graduated a year late. I was supposed to graduate 2018, but whatever. Nonetheless, I graduated. At this point, my mom was living in Chicago. I was living in Arizona at the time, in Tucson. Oh, hold on. Huh? Okay, anyways, so it's 2019. I'm 18. I just moved out. Well, I had my own apartment when I was 17. Anyways, it's all backstory that does not really matter. It's not relevant to the story. So anyways, I'm 18. I'm roommating with my two best friends. We've all been best friends for some years at this point. 5 years at this point. Yeah, I met them my freshman year and this was my super senior year. So 5 years. We all got an apartment together. We're all 18. Well, actually, they're 19 now. I'll be turning 19 at the end of 2019. So we all get an apartment together. It's such a vibe. We're living our best life, whatever, okay? I graduate in May. We moved into this apartment March or April. I don't remember the exact month now. It's been years. So we graduate, boom, we're vibing. We live together for a few months. We're just all working, grinding it out, living together, like learning how to be on our own. You know, we're all 19, about to be 19 for me, but we're all 19. Doing this together for the first time. Okay, one day I'm not home, I'm sitting there at another friend's house, and my best friend, one of my best friends that lived in this house with me, texts me, right? And she has an attitude. The backstory on me and her and all that is a whole different story, whole own story time on its own, okay? But long story short, me and my best friend, we ended up fighting in my apartment. The same night that we fought, me and my other two best friends were like, well, shit, we're not about to let that ruin our night. Like, we're kind of being petty in a way, and we're kind of like, well, you know what, we're finna show that. She thought she was finna ruin the day. Oh, well, you thought. We fight, whatever. A few hours later, me and my other two best friends, we hop in the car and we do a little 2-hour road trip from Tucson to Phoenix, and we're like, we're going out. So we do. We go to Phoenix, we go out. Lo and behold, at the club we go to, mind you, I was driving. I had a car at the time. And my other two best friends with me. Lo and behold, we go to this club and I meet my now baby daddy. He sees us outside and he instantly just started talking to me. And again, that's kind of like a whole little story on its own. But our story, me and him, it literally starts that night to this day. Our anniversary is that night because we were literally locked in. From the first link up, the first time we ever even met, literally our first day even seeing each other, hearing of each other, meeting each other, anything, we've been locked in ever since. So he's my first everything. So we get locked in pretty quick, and I'm still living in this apartment with these two girls. Even though I fought one, we just don't with each other no more. I literally, it's like after we fought, I never saw her again. I didn't. Our schedules, like, I never saw her. I was at work. I don't even remember seeing her like in passing. We just never saw each other. And if I was home and she was there at the same time, she'd be in her room with the door shut. And me and my other best friend would just be in there. I cook, I clean, I'm still doing stuff. Like, I still live here, girl. But anyways, long story short, we came home one day and she packed up all her stuff and she just left in the middle of our lease. She didn't, and this was like towards the end of the month. So that rent was already paid for that month, but the next month is coming up. Didn't help us. She told us she would. She didn't help us. So me and my other best friend, we literally were left with that fallout and everything that comes with that, which, once again, that's a whole nother story on its own, okay? That's Anyway, so yeah, so I met my boyfriend that night, and then, you know, it just went from there. We started off like talking. We would drive the 2 hours back and forth and visit each other a lot. Probably like a year and a half in, I think, I moved in with him. I moved to Phoenix and I lived with him. Well, we lived in Tempe. And then I think, so we got together in 2019. I got pregnant April of 2021. So yeah, we were together like about 2 years before I got pregnant. I'm 20 and I'm pregnant. It's not that bad, you know. It's not like it's the end of the world. I have my diploma. I'm working. I'm on my own. Like, it wasn't like I'm just so young and getting pregnant. But girl, I still had no business with a baby, you know, or having a baby or any of the things. So me and my boyfriend are like, yeah, we're gonna do this. Like, it is what it is. We're gonna do it. We did what we did. We have no choice. His apartment's lease was coming to an end, and to my surprise, he didn't renew his lease. He moved. He tried to stay in Arizona. His mom ended up going out to Arizona and trying to help us. We were kind of like literally staying in the most expensive, because my boyfriend is not like, he's from Detroit. So his broke is not like, his playing broke is not my playing broke, okay? When I'm trying to find a place to live, I don't mind if I have to live in like a regular ass Holiday Inn, I'm cool with that as long as I'm about to get into my spot. No, he wants to be comfortable, and he's not comfortable in no rinky dink ass hotel. So we're staying in these Cambrias and Comfort Inn suites, and we're just dragging it. And we are literally staying in these hotels for like 2 months trying to find a place. Couldn't, or wasn't able to in time, I guess. This whole time I still had my own apartment with my best friend in Arizona. So like, I was handling stuff there. I just didn't live there. So my best friend still lived there, and like, we would go back. I would go there every so often, but I primarily lived with my boyfriend. But you know, for this time being, I was like, yeah, I'm out. I gotta go back to my apartment. Which for the whole 2 months I kept telling him, let's just go to my apartment. But he lived in Phoenix. He wanted to be in Phoenix. He got a hotel in Phoenix. Whatever. I go back home. It's probably like a week of us talking, and we haven't seen each other. This is like the longest we've gone without seeing each other since we've been together, let alone while I'm pregnant. And he tells me that he has to move back to Detroit. He has no choice. He has no support here. He had to move here, I guess. Had no other choice, is how it seemed to me. So me being 20 and sad and scared and pregnant, and I'm feeling all alone. And my mom was back from Chicago at this point. No, my mom was not back from Chicago. I lived in the apartment with my best friend, but my sister lived in Tucson at this time. So I spent most of my time at my sister's house. I was with my sister most of the time while I was pregnant, and I had really, really bad morning sickness. So, and I had a dog at the time named Nova. Oh, my morning sickness was horrible, and I would have to get up so early in the morning and walk my damn dog, and it just felt like too much. It just felt like I never would have been with someone, let alone had a baby with someone who was established somewhere so far from where I was trying to establish myself. I knew from him telling me that he was from Detroit, but it was never even a conversation of like, are you gonna go home? Do you want to go back? It was never that. Like, it was, I live in Phoenix and I live in Phoenix until this happened. So kind of threw me for a loop. It was very raggedy. It was like, honestly, probably like one of the hardest times in our relationship. It was just rough, girl. In the end, a few months later, so he left, I said May or April, because I got pregnant in April. His lease was up like May. We were in those hotels for like June, July. Yeah, and then I'm back home for like a month-ish, because there was some point in August that we just decided it is what it is, and I'm just gonna come to Detroit. We just had to do what we had to do. So I ended up selling my car. I ended up like selling so much of my stuff. I had plans to bring my dog. You didn't have to buy a ticket, but I bought a little carry-on bag for her and everything. I also forgot to mention that the dog I said I had when I was pregnant, her name was Nova. I loved her. I ended up having, the day I was moving here, I had all my things packed up. My mom took me to the airport. Got to the airport with her, and they told me that she was too big for the bag that I had her in. Mind you, my dog was a Chihuahua mixed with Border Collie. She was very small. My sister actually still owns her brother. They're small dogs. She just had a lot of fur. So I was trying so hard to beg and plead with this lady that she was small enough and she could fit. She was comfortable. She wouldn't make a fuss, but she just refused. So I had no choice but to take the dog back out to my mom. There was no way I wasn't gonna get on the flight, boo. So I took my dog to my mom, and I think it was about a month that my dog is being literally passed around between all my family. Both my sisters and my mom are all doing what they can and trying so hard to help me keep my dog. But it really all just got to be a little too much. So in the end, me and my mom were trying to find someone who would be willing to foster my dog, because at this time I was like, I would just come fly there and then I'll drive back with her, even though it's a 28-hour drive. Me and my boyfriend were willing to do that because I wanted my dog. Like, I was pregnant. I loved my dog. I loved her. I raised her with my boyfriend. We loved her. So I was willing to do that. My mom says she finds a lady who is actually her friend. My mom had known her for years, that was willing to foster my dog. She takes my dog. She's supposed to be giving her back. I text her and tell her, like, hey, if you don't mind sending me your address, I'm trying to, you know, buy flights and stuff. And I was just, she lived in Phoenix. I usually fly into Phoenix. So I was like, I'm flying straight into your city. If you could just give me your address, I will literally fly directly to you, pick the dog up, and then from there usually there's no way that I'll like go to Arizona without going to Tucson. That's where my family lives, and that's 2 hours from Phoenix. So I was like, I'm gonna get to this airport at this time. If I come on this day, if you could send me your address, I'll come straight to your house, I'll get my dog, and then I will head to Tucson and see my family. This lady had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to tell me no. That after having my dog for all of 48 hours, that her and her grandkids got too attached to her and they were not able to return her. They would not be giving her back. I had my dog chipped. Well, no, I'm lying. The only thing I didn't get done was her being chipped and her being spayed, because I didn't want her to be spayed. And I remember that for those 2 days that the lady had her, she kept saying, like, have you spayed her? And I was like, no. But I mean, I was answering, but I wasn't thinking anything of it. But my boyfriend was like, what does it matter? She's just watching her. What does it matter? Unless I guess the way that my thought process was maybe she wanted to know if she had her around another dog. So I said no, but I also just let her know, like, my dog is a puppy. She was under a year old. So I'm like, please don't, don't let no other dog hump on her, girl. With her uterus in there or not, don't let them hump on my dog. She's a baby. She don't need to be humping. So yeah, so anyways, long story short, she wouldn't give me my dog back. She ended up blocking me, and I was going through it, y'all. I was pregnant and I was so sad, and I was trying to call her and I was just crying, and I was calling my mom and I'm just crying. I had to make a police report, and in the end, here we are 3-4 years later, and she still has my dog. I've never seen my dog again. So now when people ask about her, I say she's dead. My dog. They say, where's Nova? What happened to Nova? She died. But I can't think about it, y'all. Seriously, that shit hurt my feelings so bad. I was sad for like most of my pregnancy because of my damn dog. I can't even think about it. I can't talk about it. That was the worst part of my experience from moving to Arizona, or from Arizona to Michigan. The worst part of my experience was losing my dog. Ugh. I have my whole life packed up. I'm leaving, okay? My car is sold. It's set in stone now. I'm coming out. I'm moving to Detroit. I'm moving 1,700 miles away from everybody and everything that I know, because I'm originally born and raised in California, but I was only raised there until I was about 9 years old. Then I lived in Arizona. So from 9 until, I'm 24 now. 9 to 20 years old, all I knew was Arizona and my family in Arizona. So I was scared. I was sad. I did not want to live away from my family, but I'm pregnant, and I'm just like, I'm feeling like, do I do what I want to do, or do I do what I should do? What I think I should do? And everybody was very supportive. My mom's always very supportive. Like, she'll tell me what's right and what's wrong, but at the end of the day, she's like, girl, if you're happy, I want you to be happy. If that's what makes you happy to go to Detroit, go to Detroit. It's not like you can't come back if it doesn't work out. Has always been my mindset. It's not like me living here means I'm stuck here. I can get up and leave, just like I got up and left Arizona. So then I'm living here. I live here for about almost a year. No, I only lived here for a few months. So from August, September, October, November, December, January, 5 months I lived here. I was pregnant. I was still working. My boyfriend was working. He's roofing, so he's always been roofing. I was working at Buffalo Wild Wings as a server. I mean, not to brag or like gas myself up or anything, but if you cute in Detroit, you gonna make you some money. And then I was cute and I was pregnant, which I thought would be like a reason they wouldn't. No, girl, they was loving on me. They used to literally be like, here's 10 for you and 10 for the baby. Loved it down to the ground. But that didn't last very long. Then I had my son. We lived in downtown Detroit. It's like a really cute apartment building right in the heart of downtown Detroit. It's beautiful. And yeah, it was a vibe. It was really a vibe. It really gave me like the intro to Detroit that I wouldn't have gotten living anywhere else. Like the vibe you get downtown is not the vibe you get anywhere else. I'm sure that's the same for every city, but that's really the truth for Detroit. It's not the same. It is not. Detroit downtown is so surface level. So that was such a nice experience getting to be there, then transitioning from there. We've seen so many other parts. We've lived in Southfield, we've lived in Dearborn, we've lived in Clinton Township, and now we live in the heart of Detroit. We live in the city. Obviously a lot of things are different here. The driving is different here. Girl, you're gonna come here and you're gonna be like, oh my god, people run red lights here like it's legal. People drive here like y'all wouldn't understand. It's just crazy. What else? The culture is so diverse here. Arabic food here goes crazy. The Mediterranean food here goes crazy. It's delicious, 10 out of 10. So very diverse, very diverse. I don't know what it is about the way that I talk. I don't think I have an accent, but apparently here people tell me I have an accent. They can tell me, they say specifically that they can tell from my accent that I'm not from here. And I think they just mean that they can tell from my lack of an accent that I'm not from here. If I say soda, they ask me immediately, where are you from? A lot of times I'll say something and people will be like, you're not from here, huh? And when I tell them I'm from California, they're always like, oh my God, like it's so cool and fun and fresh. When if you've been to California, I'm not saying it's not cool and fun and fresh, but girl, it's just California. Like if you've been to Arizona, every day I'm baddie from California and Arizona. Everybody, nobody's from Arizona anymore. Everybody from California out there. So yeah. Oh, when I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings, they used to call me Cali or West Coast. I thought that was so cute. Yeah, I've lived here ever since. And then last year, me and my son's dad had a little bit of a, I wouldn't even call it a rough patch. We weren't together last year. We just got back together the end of last year, like in October he came out there, and that's kind of when we started like fixing stuff for ourselves outside of just talking for our son. But from December of 2023 to November of 2024, almost a full year. Well, yeah, a full year. I left December 9th. So for a year, I lived in Arizona last year. We were vibing. That's those videos where I was turned up and living my best life. Anyways, we're not gonna talk about that. Coming here for the first time from Arizona was like a culture shock, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm from California, so it wasn't like too crazy. And aside from that, I am black. So I've been around black people for my whole life. But from Arizona to Michigan, the one thing I would say the most noticeable thing, everybody here, well, I won't say Michigan, Detroit, and I won't say all of Detroit. I would say where I have been so far in my experience. I've been here 2019, almost 5 years now. No way. 2019. I mean, not 2019, 2021. 4 years. Okay, well, like 3 or 4 years that I've been here. Majority is black people. I love it. The way it is here is just different. People speak differently. The attitudes here are differently. The men here act differently. They're a lot more forward. The women here, so far, the girls that I've come into contact with are very like supportive and nice. And I haven't come into like contact with no stuck up, like if you ain't got no brands on, you can't talk to me type. Everybody who I've met here has been cool. I've had friends here that we've taken our kids to do stuff together. I have friends here I've gone out with, and everyone's pretty cool. Like, it's definitely not where I'd want to live forever, but it's cute for now. I added a moon on there. We're done. The 3 big stars, excuse me, is because I messed up, but we're just gonna rock it now. Hey, it's wet. Don't do whatever. Mom. What?
You have to do the back.
No, the back look says DJ. If you're a friendly person, you attract friendly people. If you're a genuine person, I think you attract genuine people, genuine energy, good energy, that's just what gravitates to me, because I'd like to think that that's what I am. So I'd like to think that that's what I attract. It is what you make it here. If you are into the things that people talk about Detroit for, you are going to get exactly what you're looking for. If you come here looking for an issue, you're gonna find it. If you come here with a problem, somebody's gonna figure that out for you. If you come here with your, because I don't want to say I necessarily walk around my head down. I still walk around and do my videos. I still am outside being me, because that's just who I am. But I'm also not causing too much attention to myself, or, you know, embarrassing myself, or just don't do too much is all I can really say. But I would give you that advice no matter where you live. Look at this, so cute. Another thing, it's very outdated. They are updating some things, but if you come here and you've never been here, just know that that's probably the first thing you will notice. Is a very old looking here. You'll see a lot of empty buildings, big, huge buildings that look like it should be something, but they're empty and they're condemned. You'll see a lot of empty, condemned houses. You'll see a lot of burned down houses. I've never seen so many houses burned down in my life. And here, you almost see one on every street in every neighborhood. Seriously, like, not even exaggerating. The weather, I'm cool with the summers, okay? I'm cool with it, but literally other than the summer, I don't really think any of it is enjoyable. The whole spring here is pretty much raining, which I'm cool with, but it's also raining and cold. It's not really that warm yet. The summer is cool, doesn't get too hot like Arizona, but it's very humid. Fall, it's cold. Winter, don't talk to me. I don't want to be here. I literally hate it, and it lasts so long. It lasts from like November literally to like May or April. Like, that's terrible. At first I used to think I hated it here, but I think that I just wasn't getting the right experience out of the city and the things that I was going through. Now I'm in a different circumstances situation that I actually enjoy living here, and I'm actually trying to convince my family to come, because the only thing that makes it unenjoyable is I miss my family. I wish my family lived closer to me. Again, living 1,700 miles from everybody I know, not a great feeling. I have to get on a flight, and it's a 4-hour long flight anytime I want to see my family. So like, that's raggedy. But I just want to start documenting more of my journey and my experience in living in Detroit, because I feel like this is a very interesting place to live. It's like, there's always something going on here. There's always something exciting to talk about. I just want to document it more. I want to get more into things. I want to see more of what this city has to offer, and I want to take advantage of it. So yeah, that's my little story time of the time I moved across the country for a guy, I guess. I don't want to put it that way. That feels clickbaity, but that also is what happened. Let me know if you guys would like more story times. Let me know if you guys would like to hear about that situation of me fighting my best friend and all that. I will tell as much of that story without dropping names and giving too many hints as I can. But yeah, that was so fun just sitting here and yapping with y'all. And like I said, I hope you guys really like this video. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope this got to give you a little bit more of an insight of me, just hearing me talk. And I'm sorry I was trying to do something with my hands, because I'm not content creator enough to just sit here and do absolutely nothing and look at myself and talk and give you energy and hands, and I'm just not there yet. So bear with me, boo. But here's my painting. Done with nail polish. Well, this is my son's, technically. Love y'all. It's been real.